would say the toughest one for me was probably the accent, because
Yeah.
my accent, we had to try and find it. It changed throughout the movie because we were working on it through rehearsals and we thought we had it, and then in the actual practice of the movie, it wasn't working, and so we were just little bits were changing every now and again, and I had to keep on adapting and moving, and eventually we found it about a quarter of the way through the movie, and then I could stick to it and I could actually develop it further from there, and so then it became easier. But in the initial phases, it was really hard to try and act with your accent changing every other day.
Was accent difficult for you as well?
Yeah, I mean, it was something that you definitely had to be mindful of the whole time, and it's in a way it's sort of freeing because it keeps you from thinking about too many other things at the same time. But eventually, you know, like Henry said, the accent sort of settles, and then it starts to really kind of inform the character. And when you're speaking very differently than you normally speak in your everyday life, it helps you act differently, and it helps you sort of maybe even stand differently, or it'll affect your body language and stuff like that. So the accent was challenging, but a fun thing to get to do.
How much of the action scenes did you do yourself?
I would say we did as much of the action as was deemed safe and necessary for us to do. You know, there are great shots in the movie of action sequences where it's so far away and you don't see our faces, and maybe someone jumps a motorcycle over a tree, or maybe someone takes the rock crawler and flies at 40 feet through the air. And in those instances, it doesn't really need to be us. And in a way, it's sort of detrimental if it is us, because if anything does go wrong, as you were saying,
Everyone's jobs are at stake on the entire production.
yeah,
It's not worth it.
so we did as much as we could, but we also had a great stunt team who did all of the dangerous sort of heavy lifting for us. We're a bunch of sissies, really.
Okay. And what was it like working with Guy Ritchie?
Working with Guy, fantastic.
Yeah.
It's such an enjoyable experience because he creates a relaxed, fun, family-like environment on set, yet it's professional and efficient. Guy has this magic touch. I don't know how he does it. He can take any period and put this modern spin on it somehow, but keep it in the period.
Yeah.
I don't know how he does it, but
There's a relatability to it where,
Yeah.
you know, if you watch some movies from the 60s, they're so obviously from the 60s that as someone living in the 21st century, it's almost impossible to relate to anything going on. But he's able to humanize all of the sort of characters and all of the sort of elements from the 60s, whether it's the fashion or the design, everything. He's able to make it approachable and fun for everybody, which is a testament to him. A collaborative experience working with Guy, that we spent so much time at Guy's house with he and Lionel Wigram, and I mean, if anything, we took whatever preparation and whatever we had, we took it and just made it better and added to it with their help and with their guidance, and also with all of the sort of cast being there. It really brought everything to life in a great way.